Crafty friends, it's October, so I gotta wear my pumpkin shirt. How's Brenda and Adeline, Thelma, and Mary T? Good to see everybody. I'm sure we'll have some more join us here as they wake up and join us. I must really love you guys. That's all I can say. Today we are going to do the Little Things Vibrant Mushroom card set. And the feature of this card set is that it uses a fair amount of layering and it uses pockets and then it uses fussy cutting. So I did a lot of, hi Laura, I did a lot of my prep work in advance so you wouldn't have to sit here and watch me fussy cut. So we'll see how long it takes us to put together 6 cards because I have all my pieces cut and all ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Adeline says it's World Card Making Day. If so, then happy World Card Making Day. Let's make some cards. You had to see what I'm looking at here. Teddy is so snuggled in with Bryce over there. And he's got big sleepy eyes. Every time Bryce moves, he moves his head a little and drops his head back down and goes back to sleep on Bryce. I suppose I should probably give you guys some measurements as we go. So let me get a ruler out here. Okay. Hi, Catherine. Hi, Annette. Okay. Because I did pre-cut all these pieces, I'm not going to necessarily tell you what sheet they came out of, but you'll still be able to match the colors and match up to this if you want to do that. We're using 4 1/4 by 5.5 cards. That means those are US A2 cards. And this first piece was cut to layer on that. And this is only a millimeter ruler, is it? No. It's got inches too. So this one, this is not going to work. So let's get another ruler here. There. Now I can see. This first piece is cut to 5 1/4 by 4. And so it leaves just a little layer around of the ivory. We're going to jump right in. I love the colors in this set. It's so vibrant and beautiful, cheery. So if you're trying to make cards to kind of cheer people up or say happy day, this is definitely a good collection for that. And we'll just layer up that first piece. Then we have 3 layered pieces that we're going to put on for pockets. But before we do, they want us to distress them a bit. So I'm going to get my scissors. Let me try some smaller scissors. I think it would be easier with smaller ones. And we're just going to rub across the top of our cardstock with our scissors and just rough it up just a little. To make, I think part of what we're trying to do here is to make the pockets more conspicuous. So we're removing a little bit of the color from those pockets. See how we're just kind of roughing that up a little bit with our scissors? Now if you have a distress tool, that's a good one for this job. If you don't have a distress tool, just a pair of scissors. Really almost any kind of a firm straight edge will get the job done. And I'll take just a little more color off over here. I have it more distressed on one side than the other. I'm going to put this first one down. Oh, let me tell you what the dimensions are. This one is 2. Come in a little bit closer if you would, honey, please. 2 by 5 1/4. Okay. And we're going to do just 3 sides of this one. and leave a pocket open at the top. All my little distress powder from my distressing around. So we have a nice pocket there, a 2-inch pocket there. And you can just take your finger and kind of bend these back a little bit too. That's okay, that's legal. So we just kind of get a little bit rougher edge there. We're going to take this piece that is cut to 1.5 by 5 1/4. This is our second pocket. So we're going to take our scissors. And we're going to rough this one up just a little. You don't want to be too gentle with this process. If your idea is to distress it, you gotta get right in there and rough it up. Okay. I may or may not do this on all of them, but since that was part of their... Oh, I did forget something though. I'm gonna put some foam on the back of these pockets too. Didn't put it on the first one, but that won't hurt anything. Just get a little separation. Okay, so let's put this one on. Get a little separation there between the layers. Hi, Kim. Did Elsie come in too? Yeah, there's Elsie. Hi, Elsie. Okay, we're going to get this third piece here. And this one you might have trouble finding, so let me tell you where that comes from. This piece right here comes from here. On the cover, you know, not the cover, but the first, the title page, this piece comes from this side. So we're going to rough this one up a little bit, put some tape on it. I'll put the tape on first, it'll make it easier to handle. Stop. Do not mess with me this morning. Okay. All right. I'll stress this one up just a little bit. I said this just a minute ago, but just want to re-stress the vibrancy of the colors in this set are just outstanding. Hi, Mary R. Yep, the final list is out now. The final Christmas card list. So everybody should have gotten it. Biscuit's trying to climb up into a nest lap and do what Teddy's doing. Boy, Teddy looks comfy over there, I gotta tell you. Okay, so we've distressed that up a bit, and we're gonna peel our adhesive and stick that down. There we go. Okay, so we've got our card with our 3 distressed pockets on it. Next, we're going to add a little border at the top. Well, this little border says the grass is always greener when you water it. Which is probably insulting to some people where you have water restrictions and can't water it. But you could always do what we did. We took out all our grass. We had like a quarter of an acre of grass behind the house. And we took it all out and replaced it with a combination of bark dust and river rock. And it looks beautiful. And we no longer have responsibilities for watering and cutting the grass and doing all those things. I'm going to take this now. Some of these cutouts, let me show you again where the cutouts come from. A lot of the cutouts come from this sheet. Again, it's on that cover sheet, but we have another couple of sheets in here that have really good cutouts too. Let me just pull the full sheets out. This one is the source of a lot of the cutouts too. Because you can see we actually have some pretty big pieces we can trim out from there. So we use quite a bit in fussy cutting from that. So I have this big mushroom, which came from that piece I just showed you. And I'm going to put a little bit of glue here. Okay, a little bit of glue here on the bottom of my piece. And I'm going to put that right behind this. Maybe I want it here. I'm going to put it between my second layer and my first layer. I'm going to stand that up a little, and I'm actually, since I didn't put any foam behind my first layer I put down, I'm going to get a little piece of foam square here, and I'm going to put it behind that so we add a little bit more dimension with this guy. Okay, there we go. I'm going to take another mushroom that I've cut out from that sheet, and I'm going to put that down a little bit. I think I'll put that, I'll tuck it right under the edge of this green one. This one's really cute. It has a door in the mushroom, like it's a little fairy house. I'm going to put a little glue right here in the pocket to help hold that. But it's got some nice dimension to it. And then I have these little fairy dancers. And I'm going to put them right on the front. On the front tab here. That looks very, very cute. And here's the outside of our first card. Isn't that sweet? Little layers, and you can obviously put more. I mean, you have tons and tons of cutouts available in this paper pad. So if you wanted to put more on, you could. But I think that's adorable. We're going to open this up. We're going to use another one of those, the grass is greener if you water it, borders. That's a border off of one of our sheets. And I'm going to drop that down just a little on my background here. And I'm going to get this enjoy the little things, and center that on that line I just put down. Hi, Glenn. So I'll put this little chipboard. This is off our chipboard sheet. And then they painted their clocks and distressed them. I chose not to. I kind of like the bronze color, so I left mine alone. But you could certainly, they painted them in white. Is it 1 p.m. my time? No, it's 11 a.m. my time, Glenn, which is why I say I must really love you guys, because I don't do mornings and it hasn't turned noon yet. Oh, Bryce just bit into a sour apple. You ought to see the looks on his face as he's biting it. Those aren't quite as sweet as the big ones are.
No, I like the size.
Little Honey Crisp. I like the big ones.
Super crispy.
Okay. I'm trying to feed this doubled piece through there. It doesn't want to go, so I'm going to. I have the only thing I'm using that is not included in the kit is this little red twine. And I just think the twine looks good when we, thank you, Catherine. I love you too. The twine looks good through the little tag holes in some of these charms. So I didn't cut it long enough to really tie it again. I'm just going to trim this off a little bit now and just leave a couple little pieces of twine hanging up. And I'm going to put this little charm right here below the little things. Regular glue holds these charms on just fine. Our Cosmic Shimmer does anyway. It's trying to move around on me. Remember, I say the Cosmic Shimmer holds it just fine. And I just hold it and let it tack a minute. There we go. Okay, so I got the inside of our card done. There's the outside of our first card done. 1 down, 5 to go. Now, we have these envelopes, and you can do fun things with your envelopes too, with your leftover chipboard and your leftover borders and things. So you could do some fussy cutting and fussy cut a little couple dancing on the outside. There's so many things. I thought the glue press looked really nice, Mary. I also thought it was ridiculously expensive for what you get. Our distributors don't have it yet, but I like the idea behind it a lot. It's like my cup. Keeping those glues upside down. I do very much like the idea behind it. Like I said, I thought it was obscenely expensive for a little piece of plastic to hold your glue bottles in place, but I did like it. Okay, next up, we're going to do a vertical card this time. And we've cut, again, a piece to allow the ivory border to show. This time it's 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. I actually really like my 1/4 inch borders better, but since I was following their design, I went ahead and cut it the same size they do. So we're going to go ahead and glue this back piece down. There really are some pretty prints in this. I love this little dotted Swiss that they have on the back of this piece we're using. We'll use that face out in a minute. Make sure I know where my fold is. And put this little tiny, put this on with a little tiny border around it. Next up, yeah, that's, yes. Okay, next we're going to take another piece of this that is 3 3/4 by 5 inches, and we're going to layer that on this piece we just put on. So let's go ahead and I do love the colors in this. If they didn't have the nice solids and things, these colors could be a little overwhelming, but when you mix the solids in, it's really beautiful. Or I'm calling this a solid. It's not really solid. It's got that little Swiss pattern on it, but what is Glenn going to be doing?
Yeah, surgery on his eyes. Tuesday.
Oh, okay. All right. Next up, what is this one? This one is going on here, and this tag is going to fit in that pocket. So I'm going to put this one on top here. We're going to go ahead and put some foam in. I'm putting the foam towards the bottom so I still have room to slide items in at the top and have a gap there. I think I'll actually put a little bit of foam on the sides too, just to hold that up nicely. Okay. So we'll go ahead and put our pocket on here. Okay. This pocket actually comes down quite a ways. But now we've got our opening there. We're going to put our Scatter Sunshine and Happiness in that pocket. And we want that to go as high as possible so you can see the little dancers. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on. I could leave this loose in the pocket too, but I tend to glue, unless it really is intended to, to be pulling in and out. I tend to glue my pieces down. Isn't that just cute? Look at that right there. That's already cute. But we have more. But wait, there's more. We're going to, let's distress this clover just a little bit. I have a smaller piece of clover here. I didn't tell you what size that last one was. This last one is 2 inches by 3 3/4. Don't have much fitting into this pocket, so this wide tape should still serve me okay. Go ahead and put that down next. Okay. Is it cataract surgery you're having, Glenn? I went with my mom to have her cataract surgery, and they actually let me watch. They had a area where family could sit, watch the procedure, and it is surprisingly simple what they're doing. Okay, I'm going to put this across that pocket, and next I'm going to take this. This is one of our borders on one of our sheets, Sunshine and Happiness. I clipped it to be 3 3/4 wide. And I'm going to put this right at the bottom of that clover. I'm not going to put this up on tape because it's just kind of an accent piece. It's not holding anything up. Okay, next I'm going to put this clock sort of down in there a little bit. So I'm just going to put a little adhesive on that and tuck that a little bit right into the pocket. So the bottom of it's actually in my pocket. And I'm going to put I have this really cute little guy who is carrying a mushroom. And I'm going to put him on the pocket. Just for some more added interest. And then I'm going to take a little piece of my chipboard. This has a ladybug. I want to put this little ladybug right in the middle of my clock. And all that they did with the center of this one, that doesn't mean you can't do more, but all they did with the center of this one was say scatter sunshine with a piece of chipboard on the inside. So we will do that.
PMS, is this the 8x8 or 12x12 paper pack?
It's the 8x8 paper pack. And all that's in the card kit is the 8x8 paper pack, the Little Things chipboard, a set of clocks, and that's all, and the cards. That's all we're using. So if you wanted to put your own kit together on this one, you could easily do that. I'm not sure if it works out less than $35 to do that, but if you wanted to put your own together, you certainly could because it's quite easy. So there we go. This is one example where a lighter colored clock might have been good. They actually covered it with white paint and then sanded off the higher parts so that the numbers showed and the clock was white in the background. But I think it's really cute. There's 2. We have 2 done. Whoops. There was supposed to be another piece on here. I thought, wow, that doesn't have a lot. I'm going to put this little mushroom right between the clover and the happiness, actually, because I think it looked really good right there. Now we have it on there. Yeah, it's surprising. You know, if you do the prep work and have all your pieces cut out and all your pieces sized, this really does go together very quickly. It's just such a cute pack, though. It is fun. Okay, card number 3. Let's see what we have on this one. I have to admit, one of the reasons why I did it yesterday is because I'm not terribly alert in the morning. I didn't want to be embarrassed by not being able to get all the pieces to work right. So by cutting them out in advance, I kind of, oh, I'll bet it was fun to fussy cut the wallpaper. You could still use that in your cards. Okay, let's see. We have, where do you go? Oh, you go in the back and you go in the front. Okay. All right. See, even when I do fussy or do all my prep work in advance, I still get confused. Okay, we're going to put a piece of the forget-me-not paper in the back on the card. This is cut to 4, I like that, 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. It's the forget-me-not paper, the forget-me-not words. I really like these two papers together. They're beautiful. That's probably one of my favorite things about Graphic 45 is the way the papers all coordinate so very, very nicely. They use the same colors throughout and the same feel and theme throughout so that it doesn't matter which 2 pieces of paper you choose from their pack, everything goes together. Okay, we've got our little tiny border there.
Hi, Diane.
Hi, Diane. Hi, Kim. I might have said hi, Kim, earlier, but oh, did I? I wasn't sure. Okay, so here's another one of those tiny, tiny borders. This is another forget-me-not. It's off a different sheet. And this has the little blue butterflies all over it. I do think this is a beautiful sheet. I'm going to layer this on top of this dark blue with a tiny, tiny border. Again, left to my own devices, I'd use a little wider borders because I like my papers to really show. If I'm going to layer them underneath there, but I'm just following their pattern. Okay, now we have, I cut these out, but I didn't separate the pieces, so let me do that, because, let's see, I want this one. I said put this one at the bottom and this one at the top. So I'm going to put this one at the bottom. And this one is not it's not using the layering quite as much as some of the others were. So I'm just putting this border here. I am leaving it open on the inside so I still can tuck pieces. I'm not going to distress this one, and I'm not going to put them on foam squares because it's just little pieces that they're stacking. I think they're just kind of showing you what you can do. And then I have this little piece that goes to the top, and this one is kind of a ruffled border. It's yellow border with a blue scallop on it. And I'm going to put this one at the top of those. And I've got some fussy cutting pieces here. I've got a collection of mushrooms, and you can see when I fussy cut these, I didn't talk about multitasking. You definitely are. You can see I didn't come in and cut all these little things in the middle. I just rough cut around the edges, and it still gives you a really beautiful combination there. Okay, this one they put here, and this one they kind of tucked in behind him. I do like that. That looks cute. Excuse me. So I'm going to put this little guy. This is the bigger one off that title page. I'm going to put this, tucking the tail of the mushroom right down in behind. He's kind of sticking out. And then I'm going to put these mushrooms just a little bit behind him. And that leaves kind of a nice pattern up there on the blue.
a.m.
Well, thank you. Okay. And we're going to, let's see. Oh, I should have, there it is. I'm going to use one of my pieces of chipboard here, right in the middle. And this says, "You are my sunshine." So I'm going to put this right in the middle.
Catherine loves the fairy tale fill of the mushrooms and toadstools.
Yeah, isn't it cute? You know, I didn't think much of this pack until I saw the projects being done with it, and now I really, really like it. Isn't that cute? Super cute. Okay. On the inside, I'm going to take sunshine and happiness and put a little border at the top.
Ned's jealous of Diane's multitasking. She says she can't watch Debbie and heat soup without almost burning it.
Okay. And we have a little clock here. I'll put a little piece of twine on that clock. Let's see if I can actually tuck it through this time. I don't guarantee I can. But if I can't, then I'll just tie it on one side. This has a little bigger hole than the last one I was trying to do, but I still may not be able to get it through there. There we go. I did it. I did it. Okay. Tuck that through. Let's tie a little knot in the end of our string. See if I can get it to tuck through. Oh, I got it too. Oh, I'm feeling clever now. And it's not even noon yet. Is it noon? No, I don't think it's even noon yet.
No, you still got 20
And I'm feeling
minutes.
clever. I'm going to trim off the rough ends of that. And I'm going to put this little clock at the bottom here. I'm going to put it on this side with its little tail hanging up. And we'll probably put a little dot of glue to hold that tail.
Catherine says she loves the photograph of Bob you put in the newsletter.
Didn't that just turn out so cute? Oh my gosh. I've said it half a dozen times already, but it just was so fun for us to have him have a day where he was here and now the entire day and happy and teasing. And oh my gosh, it was just a gift to us to be able to have that day with him. And he's had a couple other really alert days recently. So I'm holding this in place a little bit so the string doesn't just jump off. So there we go. Inside, outside. Super cute. Let's go card number 4. And I took some real liberties with these last 4. Okay, because in part, I used up some of the cut pieces I already have. That's what I mean. I took a lot of liberties with them. Okay. I cut a border piece. I'm going to use this in here. There's lots and lots of these super cute little tags in this kit too. So I'm going to have that coming out of my pocket, and I'm going to put some mushrooms coming out of my pocket. So that's where I'm going. So now let's see if we can do that. Excuse me. We had some flowers in here in the classroom for Bob's birthday, some sunflowers and roses, and then it had this other little sprig of flowers in it. And they didn't bother me at all during the party. And they've been in here for a couple of days now. But the flowers were starting to kind of wilt. So yesterday, Margie took them in and clipped the stems on the sunflowers because they were still beautiful. Took most of the roses out and just put the other little sprig of stuff back in it. And yesterday, it just drove me crazy. I have been sniffling and snorting and carrying on ever since it was in here. So forgive me. I'm not really sick. It's just the residue from the plants being in here. So now they're standing on a deck box outside the window where we can see the flowers. They're not in the classroom making me sneeze. Okay. I'm going to put this mushroom. I'm not actually tucking it into a pocket. I needed to tell you, this is what off the border sheet. And I just took this floral border and the yellow border and the mushrooms. And that is 2 inches, it's 1 3/4 inches wide by 5 3/4, 5 1/4 inches wide. And because I was using them right in the order they came off the sheet, I didn't cut them in strips. I just attached it. So I'm just going to make this one look like it's coming out of a pocket, but it really isn't. It's just glued on the top. I do think I might put a little piece of foam square behind it. Now they actually, I'm going to tuck my tag in my pocket with as much of it showing as possible. I'm kind of putting that one at an angle. as much as I can showing of it. Okay, I have I'm going to put a little piece of foam behind that one, make it kind of stand up a bit. It seems like you guys should be able to get just about any cheese in France, Catherine. But I guess that's what happens when you live in cheese-making country. They make the kind they want. They make the kind they want to make. Okay, I'm going to put this butterfly right in the center. And we have cute little pocket card on the inside. I put this little clover border across the inside of my card. Just to give it a little something inside. And that's card number 4. Card number 5. Okay, what are we doing this time? We are going to use that green and back. This is going to be a vertical card this time. We're going to put that green in the back. We're going to build ourselves some pockets across using You Are My Sunshine. We'll cut that one down. I didn't cut these. We're going to use this pretty little floral. We're going to put our Enjoy the Little Things tag there. And we're going to use a big clock.
Catherine says 4 already, Deb. This is going too quickly.
And I'm going to put a little forget-me-not tag up in the corner just because I can. That was my addition. I had it sitting there, and I thought, that's just cute. I'm going to put that there. So let's glue it down. Okay. I know. I didn't realize what we might do is see if Bryce can find us a couple of 4 1/4 by 5.5 cards, and maybe we'll just make up another couple while we're sitting here, because we have so many nice things left and we really aren't. My goodness, it's not even noon yet. I'm going to be done and it's not even noon. That's what happens when I get too prepared in advance, guys. Can you believe it? Okay. I'm going to trim off this Sunshine and Happiness. I think I'm going to trim off 1 flower on either side so that I can make this little, well, nope, I'm going to trim off 1 flower on just one side, it looks like, because I need the other flower to balance. I'm going to take this piece of Sunshine and Happiness. I'm going to put it on the bottom here. That's cute. And I'm just going to glue this on the two sides. I have this green tag I'm going to put right above that. I love the flowers, so I'm going to keep as many of the flowers as I can. I'm just going to trim up this other little edge. Trim just a little bit more off there. There we go. Yeah, that's perfect. And I'm going to attach this on the two sides. This kit is just chock full of fun materials. We have 6 cards here. I bet we could easily have a dozen more. I'm going to put the little forget-me-not up in the corner. I'm going to use my Enjoy the Little Things. Now, again, I was using things that were already pre-cut to make this card. So you can see that when I cut another piece, I trimmed the bottom of this frame off. I figured since I'm putting it in the pocket, it didn't matter. I'm using that one anyway. So I'll make that confession. I'm going to go ahead and put this one in at a bit of an angle. It still shows my forget-me-not. And then I'm going to get my clock piece here. And I'm going to tuck it into the pocket on the other side. That just looks cute as can be. Now you can see that the first 3 designs were all by G45. The second 3 designs are by me. I tend to keep my designs maybe a little bit more simple than G45 does, but they're all just charming. So cute. Okay, that's number 5. And I think we got one left. Wowzer. I knew it would go faster being prepared, but I didn't realize we'd be done in an hour. Okay, let's see what else we have. This one I know is really eclectic. Let's see what I have going here. Okay. I have to even figure out what I have going here. All right. Well, I'm clearly going this direction. As I got my big piece here, so I'm going to glue that down. Okay. Just putting a little line of glue. Doesn't take much to hold paper. So.
Linda likes the addition of the clock charms.
The clock charms really are quite charming. No pun intended. They just add something, don't they? Okay, let's see. What am I doing here? I have this one.
Catherine wants to know if you dream about creating cards.
You know what? If I had to go do something like Glenn's doing and had to go have that surgery, I would be entirely focused on creating cards in my head during that process. I'd be thinking about what I could put together, and that's how I deal with scary situations. Okay, I have to figure out what I had intended here. That one. I just have all these pieces and I have no idea what I was doing with this. Okay, well, let's figure it out. So I got Sunshine and Happiness. That's more an inside piece. So I have this bigger pocket and I have this smaller pocket. I think that's good. I think we'll do that. And these are clearly the ones I intended for the outside because they're shorter. And then I had some mushrooms. Here. And hello. And what was I going to do with this? That actually is really cute. I think I'll do that with it. Put those. Maybe this inside. I like that. Okay. I figured out what I'm going to do. I have no idea if it's the same as what I started with, but that's what it's going to be now. Okay. Maybe we'll rough this one up a little bit. So let's take the scissors and just really work this top edge over a little bit. We got a little roughness to that edge now. Taking my fingers and kind of ruffling that out a little bit more. I think I'll put some foam under here too. I'll stick that on. Okay, I'll put this on here. I'm going to put this kindness. Oh, I kind of like that. I'm going to trim this down just a little. It's just a little too long. I think I'll put that there. I'm going to rough up this green just a little bit. It seems so weird to just rough things up and make them look shabby when they're brand new. It's not a style I use a lot, but sometimes it's a style that's just right. I'm going to put some foam under here. These two ends. Maybe a little bit in the centers just to hold that in place. I'll peel this off. Okay. I'm going to put this mushroom up here. I'm going to put this little, that's going to look cute there. I'm going to put this little mushroom with the elf in it, or the fairy. And I'm going to put this taller mushroom right behind it. Put a little glue right behind there too. And then I'm going to put my hello. Yeah. I was going to put it on the front. Now I'm going to put it on the top. Don't know why. Just seems like the thing to do. Now I have 4 elements instead of 5. Okay. We'll leave it alone. I think it's kind of cute. Okay. I'm going to take Sunshine and Happiness and put it over here. Maybe come down just a little. Put it here. Thelma told me about the gift you guys sent to hospice in honor of my mom. And I just want to thank all of you who participated in that. That's a wonderful, beautiful gesture, and I appreciate it very much. I also appreciate Thelma's efforts and diligently going after that. So thank you guys. That looks so cute. Happiness and sunshine, and then you are my sunshine right in the middle of that. So there we go. 6 cards. 1 hour. Can you get me some 4 1/4 by 5.5 cards out over there? I could probably use some of these. I could probably use some A6.
Disturb the dog. No.
Oh, you did disturb that. I think they'd be in the top drawer. One of those over there. So let's see what we have in our paper pack that we can play with. We have so many beautiful things left. I want you to see this. This is amazing. I have all these pieces that are in my pack. We'll try and use up some of those. Beautiful pieces left. And then I have all of these full sheets left. Here's the one I kept calling the title page. And here's where that yellow with green strip comes from. Here's where the mushroom boy comes from. I didn't use this in full on anything, although this would be a beautiful card face by itself. But look at all these nice toppers. And then we've got, here's the forget-me-not I used on one of the cards. The back of that is a charming polka dot. We got these fun clover. And look at all these toppers we have. Thank you, honey. Got all these fun toppers on the back of that clover. And the clover itself is beautiful. So I still have 2 sheets of that. Here's that beautiful green polka dot. I do love that. In fact, I think I want to use this on something together. Isn't that pretty? That'd be fun. think I'm gonna set that out. We've got, it's the little things, and it's got mushrooms on the back of it. We've got this little daisies, and on the back of that we've got this fun and pretty yellow flowers. We've got that one we've used a couple of times. Isn't that just beautiful? I love that. And look at this one. This is quite pretty too. Another sheet of that. We've got that beautiful yellow that we used. And on the back of the yellow, we have that border sheet we've used so many times. Kindness, happiness, the clover border, the floral border, the sunshine and happiness. Then water your grass, those mushrooms. So we've used that border sheet a lot. And then we've got this pretty forget-me-not. And then all of these pieces we can use as is or cut up. So let's just try some. I don't know what we're going to get. We're just going to experiment a little, huh? So I got a 4 1/4 card. Thank you, Grace. And let's fold that. And I want to use these two together because I think they're really beautiful together. And I'm going to first measure that card and see that it's the size I think it is. It's 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. So I'm going to cut this green to 4 by 5 1/4, which will give me a 1/4 inch border around my norm. And I get a little bit wider edge, which I like. And I'm going to cut this one to be 3, is that right? Yeah, 3.75 by 5. And that should stack on top of that, theoretically. Beautiful. Now that's pretty. That right there is very pretty. Okay, I like that. Let's just stack that up.
Catherine loves it when you start experimenting.
You never know what I'm going to get, Catherine. Never ever do we know what we're going to end up with. But we always have fun, don't we? So that's a good thing. Oh, I remember a piece that's really beautiful that we didn't use in our chipboard. Might have to see if we can find a place for that this time. I do love this. I love this clover and that dark green together. That just makes me happy. I like that. Isn't that fun? Pretty. Okay, so we can set these aside for now. Let's see what we have to embellish this with. Okay, oh, this is fun. We have a tag that says simple things with the clover on it. That's kind of cute. We have little things that has clover on it. We have the 2 little dancing elves. Let's see what else we have here in our pile of things that I had left over. This was the one I was saying it was so pretty. I hadn't had a chance to use it. Oh no, it's kind of big though. We have a chipboard with the happy things and those little elves with the. I like that a lot. Maybe we should make a pocket and this one says, "What's up, Buttercup?" Let's make a pocket and add a little bit of fussy cutting to it and use this Happy Things tag at the top because I think that's really fun. So if we're going to make a pocket, what do we want to make our pocket out of? See what we have that's already here. This kind of matches the colors in our other tag. I do like that. I think we might make our pocket out of a couple of these stripes. So I'm just going to cut these. I'm going to cut one stripe and two stripes. And I think we'll stack these, but we'll just adhere them on the sides. That's about the right size. Let's cut the other one the same size. Oops. Okay. So let's just glue these down one over the other. But we're only going to adhere them on the sides. I think maybe this one I'll put it on the bottom too, just so we don't have anything that escapes. And I cut these so that my dark green still shows. This one I'll just adhere on the two sides. That's cute. Now we're going to need some pretty little designs. Oh, I like this one right here. This is fun. If we start low enough. I thought you just left too. Okay. Let's cut out, we'll fussy cut this design right here. I'm going to keep the clovers in this time. Maybe not that clover because it's kind of stringy on it. But I think I'll fussy cut this. And I think I will also fussy cut the little dancing fairies, because I think they'd look cute with their yellow dress on our background we chose. So I'm not going to spend all day fussy cutting these. There are those of you who would. I will not. I'm just going to kind of cut around the major elements and cut off the other things that I don't want to go around. Fussy cutting doesn't have to be an all-day adventure. Did need to get a little bit closer in that spot though. Had quite a bit of border showing. And I'm going to leave enough to keep my pieces connected. So I'm not going to try and trim out that little tiny flower stem. I'm just kind of going around it. I am going to try and make their feet kind of prominent. So I am going to cut around their feet. This little fairy's yellow dress is so pretty. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, I like that. Put that there. Have to kind of. I chose a pretty big one for the space I have available. I might have to cut that down a little bit. Let's see what we can do. I haven't glued that yet. Let's just see what we can do. I'm not trying to cut around all the little vines and stuff. That would be crazy. I am trying to save some of the clover, because I think the clover matches our theme nicely. I'm not even cutting all the way around the clover. I'm just kind of taking the extra background off. What are we going to do here? Come here. It didn't want to let me get that separated in piece. Well, that's kind of cute. Actually, that's very cute. Okay, I'm going to glue it down. We'll see what we get. Thelma likes to fussy cut too. We've talked about that. She likes to fussy cut. I don't mind it. Sometimes if I feel like it, if you can just sit and watch TV and do it, that kind of thing. I like it that way. I'm going to put a little piece of foam behind the top of this. So we're kind of keeping with the spirit of our collection here. Got our little dancers in the front. We've got our little elf and his toadstool in the middle, and we've got our cute clover creatures at the top. Love that. What are we going to put on the inside? I still have lots of pieces that have been cut for the inside here. This would be fun to put the same emblem on the inside. Just cutting off some of the extra. When I have a bunch of cut pieces and I'm done with them for now, what I like to do is to, especially with G45 where you have borders and stuff on the back of your pieces, I like to go through and kind of get rid of some of my scrap. But while I'm getting rid of some of my scrap, I look at both sides of the piece and see if there's any tags I can keep, any borders I can keep. And that's what these pieces are that are laying around here. They're pieces that I had largely used, but I went ahead and salvaged off of them everything I thought I could. That little dog is so happy when he can sit in Bryce's lap the whole time that he's filming out here. As long as he doesn't have to do anything else. Bryce doesn't have to do anything else, then Teddy's happy. Okay, we're going to take this grass is greener. We're going to trim that to fit the inside. That's a perfect fit now. We'll go ahead and glue that down. Okay, we're going to put this here. And we're going to put this Simple Things tag right in the center because it matches our outside tag. And it's so cute. It still leaves me a nice signature panel. Okay, here we are. Here's card number 7. Isn't it cute? Fun. Okay, let's do one more. Let's see. See, I have, when I was going through my scraps, I had a couple little scraps that I thought that'd be good fussy cutting, so I saved those fussies. Here's another one where I've got the little toad, the little boy running with the toadstool. I still like that butterfly. This might be fun for the inside of a card. It's funny on these, because the images are so delicate, they had us pop the centers out of a number of these frames. I think these frames will have to be kept. And in another collection, the colors might not work, but I can paint the frames and still frame images with them, which could be really cute. It could also be cute to see if any of these images are small enough that you could actually use these frames on some of these leftover pieces. Going to be a touchy match, but we might be able to do it. Okay, let's see what else we want to use in our background pieces. The first one was easy because I was totally into doing that. I really did like that card where we had these two pieces together. I think I might like to use those and leave more border showing this time, because I really did like those colors together. So let's do that. Let me trim off my extra here so I don't end up with it in my measurements. Let's get another one of our cards that Bryce found for us. That one didn't fold very straight. Let's try that again. I'll just make it fold straighter. That's better. I'm going to make sure that it's the size I think it is, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'm going to make this one 4 1/8. I don't care as much about having as much white showing, but I want to have more of the matching paper showing. So I'm going to have a little border on the outside of that by trimming that to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Which is going to make my measuring on this one interesting. 4 1/8 less 1/4 of an inch would be 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. What do you think? We'll see if I'm right. Might not be. Oh, it was. Looky there. And that looks beautiful, doesn't it? Isn't that pretty? That'd be a pretty note card just like it is. Where's that butterfly? Where's that great big butterfly? There it is. It doesn't really go just by itself, but we might be able to layer it on something. I like this though. I do like, I think, the little bit more subdued patterns in the background and then the brighter accents. When you put the brighter paper in the background, it can be a little challenging to get your patterns all to look good together. So the little more subdued backgrounds tend to work well for you. This really is a fun paper pack. I hope some of you will try it because I think you'll have a good time. Now, we have that red polka dot on the back of something that was over here that might be fun. Yeah, I'd have to cut up my... That would be a neat pocket though. Then put this on the inside. Okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to cut a 2-inch piece of this red polka dot. That will be 5 3/8 inch long. I like
Mary
that
says,
one.
Could you imagine a 78-pound Gemma trying to get in my arms?
No. It'd be a lot like having Gypsy, Jordan's dog, try and be a lap dog. And she does try. Little swig of Diet Coke here, just for strength. Okay, let's see what else we got here. What have we got we want to use up? Oh, it might actually be fun to repeat the blue. That could be fun. Let's see what else we want. Sunshine and Happiness isn't, that actually looks good though. Not quite long enough. If I took this little piece, I put that on there. I put Sunshine and Happiness. Oh, yeah. Let's see how wide we can get this. This leftover scrap. I do love to use all my scraps. It just makes me feel so successful. You guys feel that way? You feel like you just got a little extra out of your crafting by being able to use up your scraps. And that looks cute. Now I need one more color to be 1.5 inches.
Says Debbie teased me 3 times about Teddy resting in Bryce's lap. She is so a temptress. No Teddy cam, just tease, tease, tease.
We'll have a Teddy cam here in a minute. That's that too much. That's the back of that one. No, maybe this one. That could be okay. Let's make an 1.5 inch piece of this one. Mary, you crack me up. Okay, I'm liking that. Liking that. Definitely has a lot of activity going on. And what are we going to do here? That's definitely going on the inside. I do like that very much. Let's just glue these down and we'll figure out from here where we're going. Let's rough this up just a little. I have some of those distressing tools downstairs. I don't know why I don't have one sitting here on my desk. Usually because I don't distress stuff much. I kind of like the elegant look to things, but it just kind of works with this pattern, doesn't it? Let's glue this one down. I don't know if I want dimension to this or not. It won't hurt. So I'll put some dimensional tape on it too. Oops. Ran out of tape right there. I have more. Yeah, no matter what you do, these are not going to look elegant because it's whimsical, you know? So that whimsical really lends itself well to some of the other fun techniques. Mary R's typing up there. She says that was Gemma. Oh, but Gemma's adorable, Mary. Bet she's getting to be a beautiful grown-up girl now. German Shepherds are beautiful dogs. The other thing that this would look really good with this would be to ink these edges. Or to do some of these edges in a decal. I'll show you how to do a decal next, because that's a good technique. Using up all these little extra bits of tape I have here. I have so many little rolls sitting on my desk that it's good to just use those up and get them out of the way. Oops, I just put the tape on the wrong side of that. I distressed the bottom edge. And let's just distress the top edge then. glad when the actors strike is over in Hollywood, because there isn't much on at the movies these days. And I don't know if I've told you, I think I have, that that's one of my favorite things to do, is go to the movies. And there's just not much on. At the movies, they have all these classic repeats playing, for $5 you can go and watch. I don't know. What's the one with Michael J. Fox? Back to the Future. You can go watch the Back to the Future series and some of those kinds of things. But I really want to watch new things. I want new. And there just isn't a lot of new stuff coming up because there's been no production happening. I don't blame them, though. Those guys should get, the top stars in Hollywood make a fortune. But the everyday characters, the character actors and the lesser roles, those guys make next to nothing.
Catherine says you should stick with John Wayne.
I should stick with John Wayne. John Wayne was the best. I mean, who wouldn't love John Wayne? I think John Wayne was amazing. Okay. I think with this one, it's not likely that I'm going to be sticking anything in down this low, so I'm just going to go ahead and glue this down. Not put another foam square there. I like that Sunshine and Happiness right there, though. My blue kind of plays back into my blue on the top. My red, Sunshine and Happiness, kind of picks up the red stripe up there. I'm liking the balance of that.
Catherine says her mom thought her dad was John Wayne.
Oh. That has a nice polka dot blue trim to that tag. Let's see what else we have here. Happy things, little things. I think I like this one. I like the polka dot blue trim on there. That looks cute. I think I'll move it a little bit to this side, and then we'll make some fussy cuts to go in here. And when I heard what those guys make, that the Screen Actors make in residuals, sometimes these movies go out to Netflix and other places, and they play and play and play for years, and then these guys get $1.50 for their efforts when Netflix and the other companies are just making a fortune off their work. That just really doesn't seem fair. So I support their strike, even if it's messing with my social calendar. People need to be paid fairly for their work. That's just the way of it. Can't have the studios making millions and the people who make it all happen get $1.50. We sure have a lot of strikes happening, though, right now, don't we? Did Kaiser go out this week?
Yes.
We got the auto workers and a little more fussy cutting. Thanks for your patience while I fussy cut. I'm not cutting just every detail. I'm only kind of roughly cutting it out. Any of you guys ever go through a long strike? I remember when I was a kid, the Longshore Union went out for a long time, and it seemed like my dad was on strike forever. It was kind of a scary and painful time for our family, but it eventually ended, and we got back to normal. I've never had a union job since I've been an adult. In fact, I've been on the other side of the table. My dad and I used to have some interesting discussions, dinner discussions, because he was a big union guy, and I was, in my last job, a manager for human resources manager for 1,500 person workforce, and we had some interesting discussions. We did agree on one thing, though, and that was that if companies treat their employees right, there's no need for strikes. You know, companies have to be reasonable about what they offer and trying to keep people satisfied. And if they focus on doing that, then there's no call for terrible strikes. Ooh. I can honestly say that I had a remarkably happy workforce when I was with the bank. We treated people right. We paid them well. We had excellent benefits. We made sure we were fair with things like we did hire temps, and we did hire people temp to hire, but I wouldn't let the managers keep somebody in a temporal over 3 months. After 3 months, they either had to let them go or they had to hire them outright, because I refused to allow them to leave people in limbo for months and months and months on end, which some employers just love to do. They'll hire you in as a temp and they'll say, when you're fortunate enough to get hired on regularly, then you get all these things. But then they leave them in that temp status for months and sometimes years. That's just wrong. So we just tried to treat our people right. And they were a very happy workforce, despite the fact that the work was sometimes difficult. The people were happy with their employer. So I think unions have a place, making employers think about what they're doing. That's a little political of me, isn't it? Sorry, hopefully I'm not making anybody mad, but I just think that if companies do treat their employees right, then you don't have to worry about whether or not you get unionized. Okay, I think we have this one done. Yeah, see, that's exactly what I'm talking about, Annette. I wouldn't let my employees do that. I just refused. It really made the managers mad sometimes too, because they'd say, "Well, I don't want to take on the benefits of hiring another person." Yeah, but you told them when you hired them that if they behaved and did a great job, you'd bring them on. You don't get to just back out of that. You either hire them or you let them go. Those are your only two choices. You guys have a lot of unions in France, don't you, Catherine? I know you have a lot of strikes. You have a lot of protests. We all see that. The French do love to protest. Look here. How pretty is that? I think this might be one of my favorite cards we've done. Look how pretty. Isn't that nice? That's a beautiful one. And we said we're going to put this tag on the inside. And I think we need to do that. And maybe get a little border. I have this little border right here. Let's put a little border there. I think I got it better with scissors. Oh dear. Catherine said the farmers leave manure at the mayor's doorstep. That's their form of protest. That's awful. Pretty funny. Oh. There we go. And we're going to use our tag on the inside here largely as a signature panel. You could always write on the top of this card too, but you could write right on this tag, the to from. Should be very cute. Okay, I think this is one of my favorites right here. Here we go. We got this. And we got this. Isn't that cute? Oh my gosh. I promised I was going to show you how to decal. And I'm going to do that right now. So to decal edge something, take a larger piece of paper, score it, go back and forth a time or two. So if I wanted a 2-inch strip, I'd probably cut my strip to be 2.5 inches or so. So I had a little working room. And just go back and forth, go over and over till we really break up those fibers that are on the fold. Then you're going to take your water brush or a paintbrush with a bit of water on it, and you're going to paint right over that line that we just scored, okay? And then you're going to tear it on that line. Now, theoretically, if we have done this well, we will end up with, I almost have it too good. We almost ended up with a straight line, but you do end up with a little bit of distressing on that edge, and then you can just take your nail if you wanted to and distress that up some more. But that decal edge, it's just you don't want something sometimes as straight as a cut edge. Let's do it again. Sometimes you just don't want something that's as absolutely straight as a cut edge, but you don't want to overdo it either. Deckle, Deckle. So score it, go back and forth, and back and forth, and back and forth. We'll have Bryce come right in close so you can see what this looks like when we tear it. Well, you can see it a lot more once I distressed it with my thumbnail, but I want to show you guys what it looks like before we do that. Okay, we'll take our paintbrush. We'll just put a little water there. Come in real close on this, honey. I just want to show what this edge looks like. It's not as clean. There we go. It's not as clean as a cut edge, but it's a little bit more than, or a little less than, fully distressing. And that's what you get when you do a deckle edge. That's great camera work, honey. Thank you. Perfect. Okay. Well, it's 12:52. We've managed to stretch our 1 hour into 2 hours. So I think we will call it good. Do you have any questions, comments, or pearls of wisdom before we get away today? Any questions on anything we were talking about today? Let's look at these. I guess we should go back and see these again. And we certainly could still do stuff with the envelopes if we wanted to. Here's the last one we did. Good job, honey. Thank you. Sunshine and happiness. Now, isn't that just a nice card to send somebody just because? Or maybe somebody's just feeling a little blue. Or maybe it's just, they're just a little under the weather. Or they're having their cataracts done. Wouldn't this just be a nice little pick-me-up? These are great for kids. They're great for adults. They're fun cards. I love the little characters you can cut out. I didn't put anything on the inside of that one. Our next get-together will be for What's New Wednesday, which will be at 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern. We're going an hour earlier now. Next week, I will actually try to remember to send my newsletter out instead of figuring I'm done as soon as I finish my quilling class. I still can't believe I did that. We'll be back on Thursday. And on Thursday, we're going to do some quilling, and I'll show you that momentarily. So you guys got a good value today. You got 8 cards in 2 hours. And I want you to see this. Look at all this. These are just my little trim-offs I had left. I have a couple of my clocks left. I have a nice border piece here. I want you to see this. We cut up several pieces of paper, didn't we? But look what I've got left. I could easily do another, I would even say maybe 10 cards. We've got this. We've got this. I'll probably, oops. See, there's one of those trim-offs that I would go through before I threw stuff away. And I would save that tag. I've got a half sheet of this. I've got most of a sheet of this. my cover. I've got a half sheet of this. I've got a full sheet of the borders. I've got a full sheet of this one. A full sheet of these tags. Full sheet of this. A full sheet of this. A full sheet of this. Another full sheet of this. Another full sheet of this. So look at all that I still have, and we've already made 8 cards. And like I said, I have all these little chipboard pieces and borders left. So easy to make another 6 or 8 anyway. 6 or 8 cards out of that. So you get a great value with these 8x8 packs. And I think they did a particularly good job in this 8x8 pack of giving you lots and lots of toppers to work with. So you can choose between using the topper side or the background paper. Are there any questions at all? I did tell you I'd show you what we're doing for quilling. So this is what we're doing on Thursday. So I'm going to have to get my little button gear and get a bunch of quilling done to be able to finish this on Thursday. I'll have to have a lot of the pieces finished in advance, because for this one we made our background too. So we'll make our background and we'll do our pretty quilling. So we have that coming up next week. I don't know what I did with my calendars. Well, it doesn't matter. Oh, that's okay. I'll tell you when we get together next time what we'll do next weekend. You consult your calendars in the newsletter that I sent you. You have an October calendar there. I actually have the November calendar done too. I am on it right now, guys. I told you when I came back to work I was going to get busy. I have been busy, and we have October and November mapped out. So doing pretty good. If you're not already a subscriber to our newsletter, hit that subscribe button, or excuse me, to our channel. Hit that subscribe button because you don't want to miss anything that we're up to. We have good stuff going on all the time. And if you haven't already hit that thumbs up, please hit the thumbs up. It makes me feel terrific. And I read all of the comments. I also read any comments you put on our page below the video here. And YouTube also uses that to determine whether or not a channel is, really serving the people that watch it. So if you could leave me a comment, that would be greatly, greatly appreciated. It'll take about a minute after we sign off, then hit your refresh button and you should see the ability to put a comment in there. I'm going to leave a newsletter sign up down in the comment area today. So if you're not already a newsletter subscriber, sign up for that. We have good stuff in the newsletter all the time. Thank you, Catherine. I appreciate it. All right, guys. If there are no questions, comments, or pearls of wisdom, I'm going to go ahead and say good night, Gracie.